Hi Pisces, welcome to my channel. My name is Tan. So today, Pisces, for your meditative session, I got pig spirit again. I don't know who I'm talking to in the Pisces collective, but this is like the third or fourth time I've gotten this card for you guys in like 2 months. Yeah, Pisces, really, I don't really want to get this again, but let's pull some cards and see what we got. Okay, Pisces, I think I'm beginning to understand more about what it is that's on your mind. And this is where this comes from. This comes from, maybe I've come to this conclusion before, honestly, in another reading. So I'm sorry if it's like repetitive, but again, it's just like what I'm seeing with the cards. I know we've had a lot of readings about using your mind wisely, but I think it's really important today because we have the mother and the father out, right? So it's like, I knew this had to do with like emotions, I guess. But maybe I just thought it was an imbalance between the mind and the body. But now I'm seeing it's not. Like this whole week, everyone's been getting mind and body. But I think it's like for you guys, of course, Pisces, it's tied into your emotions, right? It's like whatever you think about is tied to like your heart, right? And that's why you can't stop thinking about it. And then with the counselor, even he has like the heart on his head. And I feel like that's really significant. It's like there's something about like your third eye and your heart, right? It's like maybe the decisions you make have a lot to do with your third. I mean, this should be with your third eye, but it's also, it has to do with your heart. So how do you tie in the third eye with the heart? Oh, like with your emotions, I guess. Yeah. It's like, you know, instinctively some things with like, you know, from your third eye, you get like these messages, right? And then your heart gets other messages, but I don't know if they're like congruent, right? I don't know if they like go together. What your third eye tells you and your heart tells you, maybe they're not together. Like maybe your heart tells you one thing and your third eye is warning you maybe against something, and it's like a constant like, but I don't really feel like that's what it is. I feel like whatever you're overthinking or whatever it is that you use your mind on, it's not about overthinking. It's about the way that your mind works, right? And where you take it. And I feel like it has to do, it's tied to your heart. So it like, that's why you worry about it so much, right? It's like when you have a kid and your kid's going out for the first time, they're tied to your heart, right? But like, let's just say instinctively you get a bad vibe, you get a bad feeling. That whole day you're gonna be worried about this kid, right? Because they're tied to your heart and you're getting some sort of like information that you're not really feeling. So you're like, am I kind of going crazy, or is this like actually real? Like, which is the real thing? And that's what I think your mind goes to, right? That's what it is. It's like what's tied, what you think about is like you take it to that level, right? Where it's like you get that bad vibe, right? And then you're like, okay, so then what are all the like possible situations that are bad? You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like Pisces, it's hard because it's a vibe, right? It's a feeling. So it's like, which is right? Do you feel me? Like your heart is saying something and then your third eye is giving you like some sort of warning, and then the whole day you're worried about this kid because like you know what I mean? It's like, am I just like being paranoid? Is my feelings wrong? And again, I don't want to ever say your feelings are wrong, right? Because they're not. But that's where this worry comes from. Now I understand better. I feel like there's something to do with this choice card, and like you're being, I think, kind of not warned, but you're being told about this choice by maybe your intuition, right? Or maybe, no, it's like they're telling you about this choice that you have to make. And the choice has to do with the mother. I don't know if it's, I don't think the choice has to do with the father. I think the choice has to do with the way that you do things. Because I think that this is like the two aspects of yourself, right? And like where you can take the knowledge, right? Like where you can take that I'm getting a feeling, right? And like my heart's telling me one thing, and then you have like a choice, right, in which way you go. And I feel like this has to do with a masculine. Okay, this is crazy. Pisces, I feel like the answer to this choice is like, I don't know if I can articulate this. Holy shit. There's like a paradox. Is that the word? I don't know if that's the right word. A paradox, right? Because we have the light, like the mother, and then we have the crone, so the dark, right? Duality. So we have, I think, these two ways of thinking, or these two ways that something can go. And you're like thinking about it with the choice. It's like either I go this way or I go this way. But there's a paradox, right? Because with the light, we have the Ten of Swords, and with the dark, we have the Ace of Wands. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I think the way that I think you're being guided to go this way, right? And I feel like you might choose this way. I don't know if this is a choice between a person. I don't know if this is a choice that you're making, like, on a person. Like, is this a choice between two people? Like, 1, 2? Or is this a choice between the way you see a person? And I think it's the way you see a person. And I think, like, the safer way to go, okay, so the way that you're thinking about this person, there's 2 ways that you see this person, right? That's what I'm thinking. There's 2 ways that you see this person. One way you see them is, like, you don't know which way is right about this person, right? So I'd say, like, the time that you think is the safer path, whatever you think is the safer route, like the more prominent thing about this person, like, that's not the right way to think of them, if that makes sense. And the way that you think of this person sometimes, but you're not sure, like, right? You're like, or is this person this, right? Right? Like, is this person, there's like 2 ways to see this person, right? And I feel like it's like the obvious way to see this person and the non-obvious way, right? It's like the obvious way to see this person and the one that's not obvious. And the one that's not obvious is the right way, because that's the one with the Ace of Wands. And the one that's really obvious to you about this person, like whatever information is obvious to everyone, that's wrong. That's what I want to say. And if you could follow that, then God bless. Because I don't even know if I followed it completely. It's like something is not the way it seems, right? Because it's like the mother here is the one with the Ten of Swords, and the crone here with the black and like the darker side, right, is the one with the Ace of Wands, right? So it's like, maybe it's the way people see this person. The obvious way is like the wrong way, but the obscure thing about this person is actually the way this person, like, it's like reminding me of someone who hides a lot, right? It's like what people see on the outside is wrong, right? But what people don't get to see about this person is like this light, right? And that's what I'm getting with this. It's like, again, it can apply to you in a different way, but that's what this is tied into. And I think this is tied into another person, whether you're the masculine or the feminine, it doesn't matter. But it's like again, it's like you get to choose, right? And only one way is the right way, unfortunately, right? But you get to choose. Like, one way of this, like one way he's holding it is right and one way is wrong, right? But I think you're gonna choose the right way because you have abundance at the end. But again, I think it's to tell you to choose it this way. And I think that's why we've been getting for months and months this mind, like the using your mind wisely. It's like, because you can't make a decision because you don't know. This is something like you don't know. So you're trying to use like your intuition on this, and like, again, you don't know because your heart is tied into it. So I feel like the way that they're trying to help you, right, with this decision that you're making ultimately, I feel like there's like a conclusion that you have to come to at some point. Because again, we've been getting this for like 2-3 months. And I think, again, the crone is the one sitting with the Ace of Wands. The mother with the white is sitting with the Ten of Swords. So I think it is really important what you choose. Because whatever you choose is going to lead to like the right answer. But I do see you making the right decision. But I want to say, like, something might be obscure. Something might not be as it seems, right? So the more obscure something is, I feel like that is like the way to go, if that makes any sense. Yeah, this is definitely the answer, because this is what I'm thinking of. You see this Eight of Cups, it speaks about like walking away, but the story behind this Eight of Cups is Moses, and Moses was someone who was like a king, and then he found out he was actually like Hebrew, and that his like Egyptian mother found him in a basket, right? And she knew that he was an Egyptian, but she didn't care. She loved him anyway. She raised him as her son. But then once he sees the way like the Hebrews are being treated, that they're slaves, he's like, I can't be Hebrew and also be like the king, you know, part of this family. Like, that's the type vibe. So he understood that he had to leave, right? So he had to leave his family, because he's like, I'm Hebrew and the Hebrews are slaves, and I can't like accept this. I just can't. So he leaves, and like that's where he realizes, you know. But do you see that, like, what I'm trying to get to? Oh my god, I completely forgot I'm like going heavy into the story, and there's an actual reason I'm telling you this. It's because there's like a choice, right, between those two lives, right? And he chose, I feel like, the harder one, right? Because like he could have just sat in this, like in this family, right, as like the kings, right? The queen was the one who found him. The Egyptian queen found him, and he could have been raised, continued living his life, right? And I feel like that would have caused this Ten of Swords anyway. Like he would have been living with this lie, right? And it's like the harder route, right, with the crone, right? That's the route that you need to go down, right? With like, he's like, I'm going to accept the fact that I am Hebrew, and accept the fact that it's going to be harder for me. Like, I'm not going to be living in a palace. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I have to leave the palace. I have to go to this other life, and it's hard. And that's like, again, I'm like, why did this Eight of Cups come out? Because like, this is so clear, right? Like the Ten of Swords with the mother, and then the crone has the Ace of Wands. So I'm like, what the hell is this Eight of Cups? And it's to do with the story of Moses. It's like, there's two sides, right? And you're supposed to go towards the harder one, whatever that means to you. So yeah, Pisces, I hope we can like freaking do this shit and make the right choice, right? So I feel like this is also for me. So yeah, Pisces, let's get some advice for you. You know what's so funny? It's like, I wanted to pull an abundance, like clarify the abundance, because it's like maybe this will help them know with the choice, like which way they're supposed to go. But then I like heard in my head, like, don't, you're gonna confuse them more. And then when I was shuffling for the Divine Feminine to come out, I've heard the same thing, like, no, like you're gonna confuse them more. Like, leave it the way it is. Like, yeah, this is what it's about. Like, this is what that choice is about. This is what they want you to use your mind wisely. Maybe you've been coming to this conclusion this whole time, and like finally it's coming. But again, there will be an abundance at the end. I'm not meant to clarify this because you're supposed to know from these two cards only. I can't clarify it. It will confuse you, whatever that means. I mean, I know what it means, but just trust, right? So yeah, Pisces, I love you guys. I hope that this resonates with you guys. I love you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.